All right, I got a little bit of time to kill. I've got, I don't know, about an hour or so, I guess. So I got to get ready for work. Working a graveyard tonight at the old coffee shop. So I figured I'd do a little cozy nostalgia streaming on Star Wars Battlefront II, the 2005 edition. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of galactic conquest, I reckon. I'm just going to do a new one. Because I haven't recorded any of my old ones. So, that way we're starting brand new. Let's see. Oh. Dank. You know, we'll do it on elite difficulty. I've never played it on elite difficulty before. I've always done normal. So, we'll do Galactic Conquest. You know, we're going to play as the Republic today. No, I don't want to do a training mission. Save. Yes. Cool. What are my options here? Hold on. Back out. There we go. Yeah, I guess we'll go to Tatooine first. Mos Eisley. Yeah, this month I'm going to be working a bunch of graveyards. So, pretty much going in at midnight, working until 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't usually get out of there till about 6:30. Whoops. I thought I was going to blow myself up. But, yeah, the past 2 weeks, I've had to deal with this guy that is just really not well. Like, not mentally there all the way. And I think he's on drugs also. Like, I'm pretty sure the guy's doing meth or something. But he came in one night. It was like a Wednesday, like 2-3 weeks ago. And he had a LaCroix and he had like a jar of organic peanut butter. And that's going to matter in a minute, why it's organic specifically. And like a bag of chips or something. Like I thought it was like this guy's dinner or something. And he asked me for a bag. And I'm like actively helping another customer, but I give him a paper bag that you would put like a, you know, like a lunch in. We use it for pastries. And then he asked me for some tape. So then I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So this guy like proceeds to take this thing and like wrap it in packing tape. Like to where you can't open it. Like he's gonna ship this thing like a package. And so I jokingly asked him, I'm like, hey dude, like, are you shipping that somewhere? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ship it to myself in Maine and hopefully it'll be there when I get there. Now granted, we're in Austin, Texas, and this guy doesn't look like he can, and I'm not trying to judge a book by its cover, but this guy does not look like he can afford a road trip or a flight to Maine. It's on the other side of the country. So I just kind of brushed it off. I was like, whatever, that's weird, but we're a 24-hour coffee shop. What do you expect? There's going to be weirdos that come in. So then a little while later, guy comes back in and he's got his like hands on his head and he's like visibly upset. And he's like, man, I spilled my coffee. I was like, that's okay, bud. Like, I'll get you another one. He's like, you can just fill it up halfway. I was like, no, I'll get you a full cup of coffee. Like, it's just drip coffee. It's cheap. Like, you're fine. And so I fill up his cup of coffee, and he's, you know, walks out, whatever. And then he's like, hey, so like, what's the smoking situation? He asked me something weird about the sugar, and I was like, yeah, it's over there, dude. And I I don't remember exactly what he said, but he asked me about the smoking situation. And there's a designated area for smoking because not everybody wants to be around cigarette smoke when you're sitting outside. And so I told him exactly where it was. And next thing I know, I turn around and there's like a door right where the bar's at. And he's sitting on the porch where you're not supposed to smoke. And he's got an ashtray and he's about to light up a cigarette. And I opened the door. I was like, hey, bud, you can't smoke up here. You have to go down there to where the smoking section is. And he got shitty with me. And I was like, look, man, I try to explain to you where the smoking situation, or like what the smoking situation is. Like, you can't smoke up here. You have to smoke down there. And he's like, well, now I got to move all my stuff. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. I'm letting you know. And he's like, well, give me a minute. Like, got real defensive. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know why you got a fucking attitude with me like that. So then some time goes by. I'm cleaning the bathrooms and a customer walks up to me. And he's like, hey, you got a situation outside. I'm like, fucking what? And this same night, like, I already had to call the cops on another guy that was he's criminally trespassed. He's not supposed to be there. And he ended up showing up and like asked my coworker who was off the clock already, like, hey, can you call the cops? And it gets hot in Austin. And there are some people that are in really bad situations and they would rather go spend the night in jail than spend the night on the streets. And it's really unfortunate because you want to help, you want to, you have like empathy and compassion for them. But oftentimes these people don't want to help themselves, or they have mental illnesses that prevent them from doing what they need to do to be an active, productive member of society. And a lot of homeless people, because I've met a lot of homeless people do it by choice. And like, if that's your choice, that's fine. But like, don't make it everybody else's problem. So I'm not here to judge your lifestyle. I'm just, I'm telling a story. So the cops come for the first guy. First guy's already gone. The guy's already criminally trespassed. The second guy, found out his name is Clay. So Clay is the guy who wrapped up the package, was like acting weird, being defensive about the smoking situation, yada, yada, right? So customer comes up to me, tells me I have a situation. I stop what I'm doing and I walk outside. And Clay is storming across the parking lot and he's yelling and he's like, go ahead and call the fucking cops, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is going on out here? And I walk around to where the smoking section is, and there is a mess. There's a clusterfuck, for lack of better words. And so I guess Clay had taken that package thing he made earlier in the evening, and he smashed it on the ground. And he threw a bunch of ashtrays. And so there's cigarette butts all over the place. And you remember earlier I told you it was organic peanut butter? Well, there was creamy peanut butter all over the tables. And so, yeah, he had a fit. And there's pizza all over the place for some reason. There's spilled coffee. Like, it was a mess. The guy caused a mess. Broke a bunch of stuff. Freaked some customers out. It was very unwarranted, very emotionally immature of him. And I got pissed off, so I called the cops. And I found out from another customer that the guy had a knife. Clay had a knife. And so now he's a threat, right? Because he's a mentally unstable guy who now has a weapon. And I'm calling the cops and I'm trying to get the Austin Police Department to send their finest men as soon as they can. Well, this happened around, I don't know. He came in about midnight, it was about 12:30, I think. This all happened about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And cops didn't show up until 7 a.m. after I was already gone. So they did absolutely dick squat about it. And the next day, my manager, and this guy had already come by once before and was like weird with my coworkers, and they tried to call in the cops and like they didn't do anything. So like now this is the second time we're dealing with a guy. So he leaves, and I didn't know this at the time, but the guy's got a car. I thought he was homeless. And so like the guy leaves, cops don't come until after I'm already done with my shift. Yeah. I haven't played this since 2025. I guess my manager saw him and I don't know if that was last week or the week after. I don't remember. I might be getting my story out of order. It's just been a lot, so sorry. Stay with me. He comes back not this Wednesday, but last Wednesday. And I confronted him. I said, hey, he looked different. He had a face mask on. He had a different outfit. He had glasses on. But something was telling me, like something in my gut was like, nah, something's not right with this guy. Like that, he looks like the dude from last week that like caused a ruckus. And I was listening to my gut. And so he just asked for a glass of water. And so I give it to him, like being kind. And he goes outside and my coworker, same one from the week prior, is out there. And I go up to her and I'm like, hey, is that the guy from last week? The guy we had an issue with? And she's like, I think it is. And so next thing I know, he's like, I go in, I come back out, and he says something along the lines of like, hey, do you have a first aid kit? I've got a rash all over my arm, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's trying to explain all this shit to me. And meanwhile, I'm not really listening to what he's saying. I'm pulling my phone out so I can show him a picture of himself that we have from the security cameras that are in the coffee shop. So I go, hey, man, I got a question. Because I already confronted him when he was in the coffee shop. When he first walked in, I was like, were you here last week? Did you cause a mess? He's like, no, that wasn't me. That didn't, blah, 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 blah. Like just lying to my face. So then I showed him that picture. I was like, hey, I need you to be real honest with me. Like I'm not, like I'm kind of like being a little bit more stern with him this time. I was like, hey, I need you to be real honest with me. Is this you? And I show him the picture on his phone, on my phone. And he goes, man, that is it, or no, he gets defensive. He goes, is it legal to record somebody in a public space? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I could pull my phone out right now and record your face right as we're having this conversation if I wanted to. And he's like, well, this isn't a public space. This is a private business. And I was like, yeah, even more of a reason to be able to record you for the safety of our employees and our patrons. And he's like, well, man, that's AI. That ain't real. And I was like, no, it's real. It's off our security cameras inside. And this is you. And now I know it's you because of the way you're acting. And was like, showed no remorse for his actions, continued to lie to my face. And at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask you to leave or I'm calling the cops. And he was like, man, I'm not, like, I don't know if he said he's not leaving, but like, he wouldn't answer. He like wouldn't shoot straight with me. He just kept bullshitting around my claims. And so he's like, he goes, people do drive-bys all the time, right? And at the time that he said that, it didn't really register with me what he just said. And so I was like, I'm calling the cops. And I went in and I called the cops and I'm describing what he looks like. And I'm like, I need y'all here now. This guy's dangerous. We had an issue with him last week. Like, no more fucking around this 7 a.m. shit. Like, I need y'all here right now. Like yesterday. ASAP yesterday. And so he gets in the car and leaves. And as he's leaving, I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette. And I read off the plate. And I start texting it. And one of the girls who's like a regular of ours, she ends up like helping me remember what it was that I just said. Because I got the numbers were out of order. And I'm not doing well in this game, but it's okay because that's not really why we're here. We're here to tell a story. That's why I picked an easy game because it's just like I just want to share this with y'all. So I'm gonna lose this match. I just realized we have 19 people left. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit just because it looks like it might be a little too loud. Yeah, so if that's been really loud, I apologize. Cops come. He's already gone. He drove off, and we have his license plate. I have a description of his car. It's a black Honda sedan. Passenger taillights out. and the front bumper is missing. And so the cops come. They miss him for about 10 minutes. He'd already left 10 minutes earlier. So I explain everything to them. I'm like, hey, I want to criminally trespass this guy. So then I'm shooken up because after the cops leave, I'm playing the entire situation through my head like a movie, and I realize that he had threatened to shoot the place up. And now I'm like really shook. So my coworker Tyler comes up, and he lives right down the road. So he comes up and he's helping me, and my other coworker's still there. And so like they're giving me assistance because I am fucking shooketh at this point. And I'm not able to like get my head in the game because I just am so like I can't come back down to earth because I'm like processing everything that just happened, and I'm thinking about like, he just made a very real threat, and is this guy like gonna leave and go get a gun and come back and shoot me in the head? And so it scared the shit out of me. Sorry, I was doing another side recording for some short form content over here, and I remembered I needed to turn my phone off. Sorry, I'm not great at multitasking, even though I have ADHD and I should be really good at it. Yep. I hate that it makes you go through like all these different yes. Yeah, let's go ahead and build a fleet here, and let's do a space battle over Dagobah. So the next morning, and I put all this in the group chat, so like everybody I work with knows what's going on, and they have pictures of him and everything else. So the next morning, I get a message. I can't sleep. Now, mind you, I'm getting off at 6:30 in the morning, going home, supposed to be in bed. Was supposed to work my other job that same day, and I just can't sleep. And that other job I'd already put in my 2 weeks notice at that point because I'm just going to work at the coffee shop full time, which is what I prefer doing. And so I get a message from my manager, and it's like a close-up picture of him with the cops, and they are criminally trespassing this guy. They're like, hey, you're not allowed to be here. We're criminally trespassing you. And they have a close-up picture of this guy, and the guy looks fucking evil. Like, he looks demonic. Like, he looks like he is possessed by something otherworldly. And I don't say that lightly. So Colton, or I shouldn't be, maybe I shouldn't be doxing all these people, sorry. But my manager, he sends me this message about how he was, Clay, the guy, the shithead, was breaking into a house across the street or breaking into an apartment across the street. And my manager like went over there and tried to like intervene and stop him and was like, hey, what are you doing? Knowing he was our guy, and the dude threatened to stab my manager. And I was like, oh, this guy is a threat. Like, this guy is like, not only is he threatening to shoot the place up, but he's also like threatening to stab people. So we get him criminally trespassed, and I'm like, okay, well, hopefully we don't see this fucker anymore. Next thing I know, like a day later, I get a message from one of the regulars that was there that was the one that helped me with remembering the license plate that I read out loud. And she sends me this CCTV footage of this man, it's our guy, it's Clay, walking into Walgreens. If you're in Austin, it's on Guadalupe. It's like Guadalupe and 43rd or 53 or something like that. He walks in there wielding a machete, and he robs the place. For what, I don't know, but he robs the place and leaves the machete on the counter. So now they've got his license plate, they've got his car description. They had footage of him not only at our place, but at now Walgreens. They have him for criminal mischief, robbery, criminal trespass. Like, there should be enough to arrest this guy by this point. And I mentioned earlier, he's got a taillight that's out. So it shouldn't be hard to like find him, especially when they know he keeps coming by our coffee shop like clockwork on Wednesday nights, Thursday mornings, multiple times in a row. Like, it really shouldn't be hard to find him at this point. So then yesterday, I get an update that, they now know where he lives. He lives off of, I'm going to dox him, actually, in this video. I'm going to dox this guy. He lives behind Workhorse on North Loop. And our coffee shop's on North Loop, so that makes sense why he's always coming by. Because Workhorse is right down the road. So if you're in Austin, or you have been to Austin, or you have whatever, like you probably know where I'm talking about. So yeah, they know where the guy lives. They have a warrant out for his arrest. Now, I guess they're he's going through a process of like getting evicted. So now it's just a matter of like, they've got to find him. Like, they're actively looking for him. They just got to find him. So that happened yesterday. Yesterday morning, again, like today's Friday, so it was Wednesday morning, or Wednesday night into Thursday morning, working my grave. He shows up again. So this is 3 weeks in a row that he has shown up. And he didn't come inside, but he did park his car, because now he knows he's not supposed to be there. He parked his car out front, like in the road, and got out, then sifted through ashtrays for like half-smoked cigarettes, and then drove off. And we called, Austin Police Department. Was like, hey, your guy's here. Come get him. So as far as I know, the guy's still at large. We've not gotten an update. I commented and messaged Austin Police Department and was like, hey, like on their Instagram, I was like, hey, here's your guy. This is where he's at. Like I've dealt with this fucker like several times now. And they finally got his name. And I guess somebody he was hanging out with is also like, we call it 86th. So it's like when they're not supposed to be there, when they're either like criminally trespassed, or like we don't allow them to come be basically a customer of ours, just because like shitty people, it sucks because like I have compassion. Like I understand you're in a bad situation, but it's like you got to want to help you. You gotta want to help yourself more than you want other people to help you. And so it's like, if you're going around and you're like asking people for free stuff, you're like asking for free, like, oh man, can I bum a cigarette? Or, oh man, can I get a free cup of coffee? Or, oh, can I get this, that, or the other thing? Like, I get it. Like, some people are down on their luck, and I'm all for like helping people. I try my very best to help people every chance I can. And I'm not going to go into like details on that. Just know that like when I see somebody that's down on their luck, I do something. But that's, to me, it's a very private interaction. It's between me and that person. I don't need to broadcast it to the world. I don't need to record it and put it on TikTok. I don't need to do any of that shit. You help people and you forget about it and you move on. And I believe that that's what you're supposed to do. So it makes it really hard to help somebody when they're actively like being evil, being a prick, being a shithead. Like, it's like, I wish I had better words for it, but that's what it is. Like, these people are just not, obviously like not right in the head, but they're also not they're not making it easy to help them. And our justice system is so fucked up that even if they get arrested, they're not going to get rehabilitated. They're going to be in jail for a while and probably get worse, probably regress, I'd say most of the time, and then be released, be put out on the streets again, and then the same shit's going to happen. And they're going to just continue to be a repeat offender. And, like, unfortunately, somebody's eventually going to get hurt. And I've seen it happen. Like one of my guilty pleasures, as far as like entertainment goes, is watching body cam videos, like true crime body cam videos, whatever, right? Investigations, like murder stuff, you name it, like cold cases. I've probably watched it, you know. I don't know. It fascinates me. The psychology of it fascinates me. It's not like a morbid curiosity. It's not like I'm, you know, disgusting or anything. I really am fascinated with people. I'm really fascinated with human beings and why they do the things they do and what causes them early on in life to become the adults that they end up becoming. And anyway, so I watch a lot of that kind of stuff, and I see all the time people being arrested that end up getting put back out into the world, into society, and they are the same. Like they didn't heal, they didn't change, they didn't seek any kind of like help or therapy or medication or anything. And usually when they get put back out on the streets, like they do end up like unfortunately taking somebody's life. And whether that's intentional and premeditated, or it happens because they're running from the cops and they slam into a car full of a family and like, you know, murder 4 people because they were trying to get away from the cop. You know, like it's just, you never know. And so it's scary. It's scary thinking like this guy knows my face. He knows me by now. He's dealt with me several times. He's dealt with my manager several times. He's dealt with other people that I work with several times. And I hope that they lock him up for our sake and for his own. So I don't really have anything else to say about that. I wanted to share that story because it's something that's been on my mind. It's something that's been going on this past, feels like a month, but past few weeks, I guess. And I'm hoping I'm hoping that it is coming to an end very shortly because it's been exhausting. Like I have actually lost sleep over it. I've actually like feared, been in fear and had like, so I have anxiety already, and I don't ever want to use that for a excuse or ever let it inhibit me from being the strong man that I know that I am. But I had some legit fears there. I had some legit worries about this guy. And there were days where I came home from my graveyard shift and I get home at like 7:00 in the morning and I would just lay in bed and doom scroll or watch YouTube videos or whatever, fill in the blank, because I could not sleep. I could not shut my brain off. That's one of the curses of having ADHD is when you have ADHD, like you tend to be an overthinker. You tend to be a very deep thinker also. And so your mind goes to worst case scenario. Your mind goes down this rabbit hole of like, well, what if he follows me home from work one day? And what if he knows where we're blah, 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 blah. Like, just, I don't even want to put it out in the world. Like, just some of the thoughts I've had run through my mind. And I know that it's not, it's not real. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like when you have thoughts like that, like I have to remind myself, like, that's not my reality. Like it's not real. It's just, it's fear creeping in. And I don't think that fear is, not to get all religious or anything, but it's not of God. Like fear is not an emotion that we should be focusing on. We should be focusing on feeling safe and feeling secure and standing our standing our ground, but also like keeping our guard up for people like this. And I don't ever want to let somebody that's, because really all they are is a bully, right? They're trying to get a visceral reaction out of other people, innocent people, because they're a loser and they have nothing else going on with their lives. And so they antagonize other people that are, end up becoming victims. It's just frustrating. And people do it in a lot of different ways. There's people that, cyberbully. There's people that do it in real life. There's people like this guy I'm talking about that's been antagonizing the coffee shop that just come in and cause a ruckus and are just acting weird and being weird towards other people and, making folks uncomfortable. And, with him, like, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I feel like a lot of people, it's just like, I have nothing else going on in my life or I'm bored or whatever. So I'm just going to go I'm going to go start some shit because I have nothing better to do. Like, people used to, fight all the time. Like, I'm sure they still do, but fighting is so different now than what it used to be. Like, fighting used to be you see somebody that, pisses you off or whatever, and you go and you have a physical altercation out back. You take it outside and you're fist to fist. And one of those people is going to be laid out on the ground, and one of those people is going to walk away and be like, yeah, I just did that. I'm not condoning fighting. I'm just saying that's what it used to be. Now, if you start something with somebody, you don't know if that person's got a knife. You don't know if that person's got a gun. You don't know if that person's got a group of friends that have guns that are going to come back and shoot up, do a drive-by like this guy was threatening. Like, you just don't know. And people that don't have anything to lose are the scariest people there are, period. If you come across a man that has nothing to lose in life, you better stay the fuck away from him and just be kind. Don't start shit, ignore them or walk away or do whatever you've got to do, because if he's got nothing to lose, going to jail ain't going to fucking faze him. If he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, it ain't going to faze him. He doesn't give a shit. That's 3 square meals and a warm bed and some AC that he gets to enjoy the rest of his life. That's basic human needs that he ain't got to worry about anymore, that our tax dollars pay for. So if that means killing somebody to have that, it doesn't even, I feel like that's not even that big of a bummer for him. I don't know if that's making sense or not, but it's if he has no family, he has no friends, he has nothing, doesn't have a house, doesn't have a car, has nothing to live for, right? Has nothing going on. That almost feels like an upgrade to him in a weird way. So I see it all the time. I see it constantly, especially living in a big city. It's sometimes the Wild West. It's strange. It's people will murder for no reason, or people will shoot up a school for no reason. And I'm not saying it's not for no reason. They always have a motive, right? There's always a reason. There's always a motive behind the person doing the thing that they're doing. But sometimes it's random. Sometimes it's sporadic. Sometimes there isn't it's not premeditated. It just kind of happens. And other times you have people that are pissed off at the system. They're pissed off at their parents. They're pissed off at their whatever situation they're in, fill in the blanks. And they're upset about it, and they don't know what to do with these emotions, because 9 times out of 10, they were probably told by their mom and dad to not have emotions or to suppress your emotions, or, oh, it's bad that you're feeling these emotions, and they don't know what to do with them. And so what they end up doing is lashing out in a really insane way, insane to a normal person that had a way of dealing with emotions. For me, I had emotionally unavailable parents growing up, but I learned to cope with my emotions through music, through playing video games, through whatever else, fill in the blank. I oftentimes see that a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have outlets. For me, doing this, Twitch streaming and turning into YouTube videos and doing short form content, for me, this is a pressure release valve of hey, I'm feeling the same thing that everybody else is feeling when it comes to living in the United States. And there's a lot of suck in this country right now, thanks to the current administration, thanks to all the changes that have been done that have hurt everyday working class people, thanks to there not being healthcare, and thanks to there not, our tax dollars going to war instead of fixing our infrastructure or fixing, accessible healthcare, or accessible housing, or accessible therapy for mental health issues and to help people get off drugs. Like, we don't have any of those in America. And anything that we do have in America, it almost feels like it gets misused by the people that don't actually need it. And anyway, it's a whole tangent for later. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole right now. It's not what this video is about. I mean, I guess in a way it is, but I just see a lot of pain. I see a lot of suffering. I see a lot of bad shit going on in our country and going on in the world. And doing this right here is my way of coping. It's my way of feeling better about my situation. And I'm in a great situation compared to a lot of people. But this is how I deal with it. This is my pressure release valves, so that, I'm not saying I would ever do anything, but like, you might have heightened emotions and like, say, like, for me, it would be like saying the wrong thing to somebody that you like don't actually mean. You're just frustrated with your situation, and you're like, maybe you lash out to somebody. Like, doing this kind of thing keeps me from being in that headspace of like even that being a possibility. Not that it would be, because I've done a lot of therapy, I've done a lot of growing, I've done a lot of understanding how to regulate my emotions that I once did not know how to do, and I used to be a lot more impulsive than I am now. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have a hobby. A lot of people's hobby is to consume. And when you're consuming, whatever you're putting into your body is what you're going to get out of it. So if you're constantly consuming like negative doom and gloom, fear-mongering content, then that's what you're going to feel. You're going to feel like the world is just ending and everything sucks and blah, 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 right? I refuse to stoop to that vibration. I refuse to put myself in a position to where I'm like constantly bummed out because the state of the world. Am I bummed out? Absolutely. If I start talking to people about it, do things come up? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not going to let that control my life. I'm not going to let people that are trying to antagonize and bully and be shitheads, I'm not going to let that control my life. And so I'm putting my foot down with it, and I'm finally going, hey, you know what? It sucks that this guy's going through this, but I'm not going to allow him to lose, or I'm not going to lose sleep because of him. I'm not going to allow him to control my emotions and to control my feelings. And if I do see him again, I'm not going to give him a reaction, because I feel like that's what he wants, is he wants a reaction. It's like, oh, my life's so fucking miserable and I hate blah, 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 that like, I'm going to make sure everybody else's life is fucking miserable. And I feel like there's a lot of people that do that, unfortunately. And I feel like when they were younger, it was bullying. Like it starts out as that. It starts out as being a kid in school when you see everybody else is doing better than you, or you see that like, oh, they have parents that love and care about them and mine don't. So I'm going to be an asshole to everybody because I'm insecure or I'm upset that this is the cards I was dealt. Instead of learning how to transmute those emotions and create something beautiful with them and do something with your life, they make it everybody else's problem. And I just don't think that's very cool. That's really all I got to say on this one. I think like I know I've been going for about 38 minutes. I'm going to finish up this match here, and then I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to head into work a little bit early. I like to go in early so I can sit down, have a cup of coffee, smoke a couple cigarettes, like get my mind right for the night. One, just to feel the vibes of what's going on there. Usually it's pretty chill, but two, also to prepare myself mentally in case some shit does pop off. Like, all right, I'm in the right headspace to deal with this. If I just go straight into work and I'm like running late and I get there right at the time I'm supposed to clock in, I feel like I'm not prepared for the night. And I feel like I'm going to be constantly trying to catch up and chase this like imaginary clock that tells me, oh, you're running out of time, when maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I like to just be early. I played saxophone all through school growing up. And when I was in high school, my band director used to say this thing that has stuck with me since then. And it goes, if you are early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're dead. I know it's a little dramatic there at the end, but I think the point that he was trying to instill in us is to always be early. So I do my very best to be at least 15 minutes early to everything I do in life. Of course, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic. Sometimes, situations happen. Things happen. But I feel like if you set that intention to be early, more times than not, you're going to be set up for success when you start whatever it is you're doing, whether it's work, whether it's meeting a friend for a drink or dinner or a date or, a doctor's appointment or whatever. Like, that's a Reed's tip for this video, is like, show up early and you'll probably do okay at whatever it is you're doing. You're probably going to set yourself up for a better time than if you would not have. And this match is about to end, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So if you've stuck it through, I really, really, really appreciate you. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please follow me on Twitch. Please add me on Instagram. It's all going to be at Dank Possums. And I really hope to see you guys on the next stream or the next video, or I hope to see you guys in my comment section on my Instagram. I do my best to try to interact with folks. I can't respond to every single comment, but I really do try to engage with people. And sometimes I'll read something that really makes me giggle, and it puts a smile on my face. So I appreciate y'all for that. If this is your first time here, thank you for watching. Welcome. If you're returning, I'm glad to have you back. I'm trying to build a community here of people that are like-minded. And I think that we can do that. I think this is going to be the year that this really starts to take off and I start to reach as many people as possible. And I want to do this. I want to do this more. I want to do this as much as I can. So I hope y'all have a great night. I hope y'all stay safe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.